if those things get implemented well, the more you talk about it, the more I think about it, the more I do like, because it is something I've wanted for a really long time. Bring us back to that feeling of finding something cool in Raid and wanting to get out with it to use, like, not to sell. But I just feels like they have to get so many other things right.
And see, now you've changed my mind back to being pessimistic. Well, now.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the podcast, the show dedicated to talking about all the poggers things in life, like music, content creation, and video games. I'm one of your co-hosts, Jesse Kazam.
And I'm Veritas, a rule breaker.
A heartbreaker.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but I never follow the directions to, like, do not microwave this cup. Do not reheat. I always do. And although sometimes they have like a little metal like ring in them, and you end up with like a burn mark.
Oh my!
I think it enhances the flavor.
The flavor, it's a flavor enhancer.
Yeah.
Is that some Mickey D's coffee? How old is that you nuked it?
4 hours or something.
Okay. McDonald's has pretty good coffee.
Yo, their coffee's top tier. It's better than Starbucks coffee.
Yeah, like McDonald's has good coffee.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that, like, it depends on who makes it.
Of course.
There's half of the people that we see when I see them making my coffee at my local McDonald's, I'm like, oh, good. And then half the time I'm like, there's guys making my coffee, and I know it's like, it's completely black, but like tastes worse than black coffee somehow. Like, he explicitly goes and just, I don't know what the he does. That this one is like, meh. I don't know. It's not amazing, but I just have to drink it because I'm addicted.
Yeah, gotta get that caffeine hit. Get that caffeine hit.
So what's up?
Not much. How's your Thanksgiving?
Good.
For those of us who are in America, I know you Canadians did it last month or like a few weeks ago. Not you Canadians, but some Canadians that watch.
Boxing Day is not Canadian Thanksgiving or Black Friday.
Correct. It's neither.
I thought it was like a British thing, not a Canadian thing. But I had a observed by what the are Commonwealth nations. Oh, okay. Sorry, this was just like a debate that was had.
I have no idea.
A debate that was had. Someone said something about like, oh yeah, it's Boxing Day in Canada. I'm like, I thought it was the UK, and I thought it was not Thanksgiving. It turns out I was half right. It is celebrated in Canada, but like 55 other countries. Okay.
Boxing Day in Canada was when all the Canadians get their rage out. So that's when they can be nice. They all just throw on boxing gloves, and it's just 24 hours of the purge. Yeah, and then so that's why they're so nice the rest of the year.
That was the question. We were trying to figure out whether or not the boxing had to do with, like boxing, like boxes, like a big box store, or whether it was like fighting, like that kind of boxing. Yeah,
I think it's like when they wrap their presents or something.
Why is it called Boxing Day? I love how Google is like, why is it called the Bong Cloud opening, which is it's a meme opening in chess called the Bong Cloud.
The Bong Cloud.
Yeah, it actually has an amazing history that it almost deserves a documentary in and of itself.
I love
There's a guy named Lenny Bongcloud.
Oh, that's his name. What a god tier name.
Dude, his name is Lenny Bongcloud, and he loses basically every game he plays for like a decade. On chess.com, he's legendary. But what he does, the first move, he moves the pawn in front of his king. Okay? Forward. The next move, he moves his king forward, which is like the dumbest thing
to do.
Because you can't castle, you're moving it out from protection. And what he does is he's playing a game. It's a different game than everybody else. He's trying to get his king to the other side of the board. And then if he does, he resigns and he's like, I won.
Incredible.
So that's like an opening where if you're like memeing, if you're playing with a friend, they're like a grandmaster playing against a grandmaster and they like want to have a little bit of fun, they might open with the Bong Cloud and then the other one will open with the Bong Cloud. So it's like we both start with a disadvantage, but like, we'll see where it goes. And I was like, I have to know, why is it called the Bong Cloud? I'm like, is it the shape of the thing? And then I found Lenny Bongcloud's account
Bongcloud is an S tier last name, and Lenny is such a perfect first name. Like Lenny Bongcloud. It would have been so much worse if it was like Mike or Steven Bongcloud. Like Lenny Bongcloud. Wow.
That was the word. We just went from Thanksgiving to Boxing Day to then Lenny
to Bongcloud real fast, and I kind of loved it.
Yeah. Anyway.
Wow.
Good.
It was good. Yeah, spent some time, with the little ones. Got to hang out with grandma, grandpa for a little bit. Was good. Was a good time.
Nice.
And great, dude. You want to know, like, existential, like, not dread, but just like moment. Like, it's crazy when we go and like see my wife's family and stuff like that. So like my wife's grandmother is still alive. So to see like all on one couch, like a woman,
like 4 generations,
her daughter, and her son.
Yeah.
And you're just like, what the hell? You know what I mean? Like, she's like, my wife's grandmother's like 98. And you just like.
And you think like their parents were like alive when Lincoln was president. You know what I mean?
Seriously,
it's
dude.
Like, whoa, wait a minute. What?
Bro, it like, sometimes I just like think about that kind of stuff and it gets nuts. Oh my God.
Dude, you just think about how recent, like the 1776, 1800s. It's like, it was a few generations
ago. Like 4 or 5 generations. Like, it's kind of, dude, it's it was nuts.
1865. I mean, was that 140 years divided by what
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's like 98. So it only is like 42 years. Yeah. Crazy.
That's insane, dude.
Crazy. But yeah, so Thanksgiving was good. Spent some time. Good stuff. Chilling. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I discovered a new content addiction.
Yes.
It was another one of those, whatever's happening, it's like the lock-picking lawyer again. This is another one of those, like, all of a sudden people are talking about it. Yeah, I watched that and it just came up in my recommendations.
Yes.
Completely unrelated to something, and then you see all their videos are getting millions of views, and it's like, I always wonder, like, what happened with like lock-picking lawyer or this particular channel. But I've been watching Wristwatch Revival.
Oh.
Have you heard about it?
No, but I mean, I'm assuming it's just like watch restoration.
Yes. So
I have seen tons of watch restoration videos on TikTok, and I always watch them all. So maybe I've come across it without knowing.
Yeah. No, it's and it's crazy because I clicked on the video. It was like, a woman took this Rolex diving or something, and it was like, shows it all scuffed up and whatever and like damaged. And then I'm listening and I'm like, this guy's voice is really familiar. Like, it sounds like Marshall Sutcliffe, who was the announcer in like Magic the Gathering. He's like one of the he's just always the announcer in every single major event and everything like that. And he's like, hey guys, it's Marshall. I'm like, what? This guy somehow has this other YouTube channel, Wristwatch Revival.
It is. So it is him.
It is. Yeah.
It's amazing.
But it's like he's got like 9 camera angles, and you see he's working on all these watches, and he takes them apart, and he's got a million tools and a microscope camera and all this stuff, dude. It's fascinating, and the videos are like 45 minutes long. There's no music. He just sits and he
that's incredible
while he takes them apart, and and they're beautiful on the inside. I've never seen the inside of a Rolex.
So many pieces, dude.
Unbelievable. It's unbelievable, and I'm like just like locks. Now learning how watches work, like it's just enriched my life a little bit more. Like knowing how a thing that I've taken for granted my whole life
is more complicated than you could have ever imagined. Yeah.
And you look at some of these watches that were made in like 1920, and the screws are like, you need a microscope. How the did they manufacture them?
I don't know. Yeah, that's such a good point. That's
I have no idea.
Wrist watch revival. I need to check that out. I've seen tons of that. I've also lockpicking lawyer is now on TikTok as well, and his videos keep popping up in my feed, bro. And
man.
it's so good. Which is funny because that's the thing is that like he can pick most of them in like a minute. You know what I mean? Like they can fit in a TikTok video because he's that good. Like it's insane.
Yep.
That's cool. Wrist watch revival. That's a good one.
Indeed.
And talking of content that I've been watching. Somebody tagged us on Twitter about it, but the makers of Dark made a new TV show, and the first season just aired.
1899.
Have you watched?
I saw the trailer.
Bleh.
I haven't watched it yet.
I'm 5 or 6 episodes deep. There's 8 episodes, and it's...
Is it like as good as Dark?
Bro, it's very different. You know what I mean? It's got
a bunch of the same cast.
Yeah, it's
like
got a few. Yeah, the main is the like middle-aged Jonas.
Yeah.
It's really good so far. It's really good. It's creepy. It's slow, kind of like, you know what I mean? But it's like, yeah, it's really good. It feels very. If I didn't know that, I would be like, yo, this feels like the people from Dark made it, and it did. It's really good. So you should definitely check it out. I'm gonna finish it probably tonight or tomorrow, but it's really good. But yeah, you've been playing a whole lot of Tarkov, I'm assuming. Yeah.
Yeah,
just nonstop.
Just losing at chess.
18 hours. Oh no.
Yeah, I literally don't even want to talk about it. Yesterday I won like every game I played all day long. Today I lost every single game. I just don't understand.
Yeah.
I hate that normally it's obvious to me like when things like that happen. Like I hate not understanding something. And it's not even that I don't understand chess.
Yeah, of course.
But I don't understand why I don't understand or why I don't, you know, like somebody, the way it feels is like, imagine if someone walked up to you and they were like, hey, buddy, and they slapped you in the face. You're like, oh, what the and then they came up to you and they're like, hey, and you're like, oh, goddamn. And then they went, hey, and you're like, nope, you dodged out of the way. And you're like, yeah, okay. And then they go, hey, and they hit you and you're like, oh, why didn't I move? And like, it just happens over and over again. And it's like, I like move a piece. I look at all the things. I move a piece. I'm like, okay, cool. And then it's like, your queen is gone. I'm like, why did I see it?
Yeah.
There's only 8 pieces on the board. How could I not see it? And you just can't see it, dude. I don't know.
Bro.
I don't know, dude. I'm going through like a midlife crisis.
A midlife chess crisis. I mean, I can understand that at a 10,000-foot view because of just everything you've told me and some of my other friends have told me about chess and how many layers of thinking there are. There's the right now, there's the near future, there's the end game, and you're thinking about it all like 4 moves in, and it's like, ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh. And I've lurked while you've showed some of those like your graphs of how the like engine, and you're just like, oh yeah, just know all that in your brain to be good at chess, Lamau. You know what I mean? I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Just do the Lenny Bong Cloud. He's got the right idea.
Just hit that Lenny Bong Cloud. Well, we do have a little bit of Tarkov news and stuff going on. So they released Chapter 3 in the Chronicles of Ryzhy, which is like Chapter 3 is like videos that they've put on their YouTube channel. Ryzhy has been a character in almost every single event since like the pre-wipe that was happening this time last year. Like leading up to the 12.12 wipe, I'm pretty sure we had like Ryzhy stuff, and then all in the spring when they did that like 1.5 trillion, he was involved in all of that stuff. A bunch of the events have been like Killa or Tagilla or the Rogues moving around maps specifically to find him. The most recent Sanitar event was he was on customs looking for Ryzhy. So like it's all connected, but like this was Chapter 3, and spoiler alert if you didn't see it, but it looked like he died at the end of the video. He was.
Yeah, I haven't seen this yet.
He was
the fucking IKEA.
Yeah.
Rig.
He's got, and then he like spills something in Sanitar's lab.
You said that just as it happened. That was like you were narrating it.
And then what happens after that? And then he goes back to his hideout.
I mean, clearly that's got to be like the virus or something.
Yeah,
like
the virus. I was thinking internet history. The virus. And then he just like passes out.
Oh yeah, he looks sick.
Yeah.
He looks like something him up. Oh god.
But then like Dimitri like retweeted the tweet and was like R.I.P. Ryzhy. Like it was like it felt like he died. You know what I mean? I don't know if he did, but it felt like he died. Anyway, so I don't even know what the story is with him. I don't remember why he's important. I don't remember why people want him. I just know that it's been like 18 months of my life that I was supposed to have cared about him. Anyways, so then they released that, and then an event happened, which I hope Chad hasn't told you, just because I want your reaction.
An event? I haven't heard anything, no.
Okay. Are you ready for this?
Oh, no. Oh, no. Dude, there's no way he died at the end. He definitely didn't die. You don't just blur fade out and then that's not a death scene.
I feel you. The current event is you take 100% additional damage to your PMC in perpetuity. And every level that you have of your immunity skill reduces that by 1%. So I have 1,500 raids this wipe. I'm level 60, and I've easily spent 20 million rubles on stims. And my immunity is level 10. So every single raid that I go into, I take 90% additional damage except for your head. Everywhere except for your head. But you have plus 20 strength, plus 20 endurance, plus 20 like metabolism. Your carry weight is increased pretty significantly, and you know how like the Propital heals you for 1 HP per second for 300 seconds? You get 2 HP per second just forever healing. So every time you get shot, you just immediately start healing 2 HP per second.
Without Propital.
Yeah, without anything. Yeah, you don't have a painkiller on permanently, but if you get shot, you're just immediately going to start healing 2 HP per second.
Yo, I mean, that right there sounds like an interesting idea, to be honest. Having like some automatic healing just like over time.
So like so people are like kind of calling it like the Call of Duty event because like everyone's complaining that the time. I'm not saying they did it, but it's like that's what people call it because like the time to kill in Call of Duty is so short. But that's how all of those games work where you get shot, all you have to do is hide and eventually you just heal back up. So like it's that concept where like it's plus strength, plus endurance, plus metabolism. They increased your carry weight and gave you permanent heal. So everybody's moving faster and
so
everyone's
it feels like
weaker.
It did a year ago.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. So it's like, but you take twice as much damage. Okay. And what's funny is that this is the second event now. They did the Toxication event before the last wipe where if you have max immunity, you're not affected at all. So like Smitty Stone and like 7 other people are just playing the game with cheats on basically because they don't have the damage thing, but they have the buffs and everyone else has the damage thing. Like
they've got all the buffs and they already have like max level everything.
Yeah. So they can pop a Meldonin and take 10% less damage, and everyone else on the map is taking between 90 and 100% more damage.
I wonder if like, does it actually feel any different?
No, honestly.
See, that's the thing is that my guess would like my gut is like taking 100% more damage is
yeah.
Especially if let's say you do 5 raids in a day, because of all the RNG with armor and with bullets. Sometimes it's 2 bullets, sometimes it's 4 bullets. So like normally the variation within a given fight can be 200-300% different.
It just feels like you lose the RNG battle all day. Like none of the stuff that you die to feels like impossible. It just feels like you die to the bullcrap all day. Like, it feels a little different. You kill people pretty quick. Like if you can get like 1 or 2 headshots on them, obviously leg meta, like basically the way I found, like I played Tarkov yesterday and it was like really fun. But it was because I have the means, right? 40 million rubles and a stash full of loot to just like turn this event into a meme. I was running Ketters and like Glocks with Rip and like leg meta's insane, right? 45 ACP Rip rounds, 2 tap to the leg, boom, boom, dead. You're dead. Rip slugs do so much damage that even if you have level 20 immunity, 1 Rip slug to the leg does 500 damage to you. So you're just dead. 1 Rip slug. I died to Rip slugs 4 times last night. Literally, if it scrapes your fingernail, you're dead to a Rip slug. So like that's kind of like annoying when that happens and stuff like that. Especially because it, like this event would be kind of fun, but it like, you know, the net code and the audio exacerbate because like you're just like you're such a glass cannon. But it was basically it was just memes. I was just like memeing with freaking flesh damage and stuff like that. But yeah, dude, that's the event. And it was so funny because I legitimately was like, I just want to know if they thought it was going to be a good event. Like, I want to know if they were like excited to see the community's reaction, or if they knew. Like, are they at this point, are they like poking at us because it's hilarious to them? Or did like Sean over at HQ, was he like super hyped? Because like 10 minutes after the event started, bro, Twitter was like exploding and was just like, what the hell? Like, why? I don't understand. Do you want us to play your game or not? You know what I mean? So like,
I wonder, I mean, part of me also thinks that, like, let's say you're a newbie and you have dog shit guns and no armor.
yeah.
Like, maybe it makes it easier to kill the top.
Do you know what?
Top end guys.
Yeah.
Or, like, not. I guess compared to what it used to be.
Yeah. You know what sucks though? Is that AI doesn't have any change to their health.
Yeah, of course not.
So that's truly like, so I popped the game live and I was like, this event sucks. And then I played for like an hour and I had some like really funny like encounters. And I was like, chat, I was like, this could be way more fun than I thought. And then I was on a way out of a raid after I killed 5 people and I heard Schwajile and I fell over dead. And I was like, yep.
Oh God.
And we're back.
Sucks so bad.
Because like when I'm fighting PMCs, we're all in the same playing field, right? So I 1v3'd, like I 1v3'd a squad. And at the end, I felt like such a god because I was like, if they had hit me basically twice, I was dead, right?
Yeah,
and I was like, I won this. I was like, that's so sick. I kill another guy, I loot everybody up. I'm walking, I'm 10 feet away from RUAF. And I hear Schwajile SKS and I'm dead. And it's like, okay, this sucks. Because when I'm fighting the PMCs, we're on the level playing field of everybody's messed up. You know what I mean? Like really, truly only like 10 people probably have max immunity. So just about everybody kind of has the level playing field of 1 or 2 leg shots and you're toast. Except the AI. And so like you can shoot them 8 times, you know, you hit them in the arms, none of it counts. And then they just, you know, they all have freaking Magnum buckshot, you know what I mean? Or like 7.62 PS, which are big rounds. And they just like one tap you. And it's like, damn, if you like deleted the AI from this or gave the AI like 50% of their health as well, this event could low key be fun. Just like literally like SWAT. You ever play SWAT in Halo? Like that was one of my favorite modes. You know what I mean? It would be like Tarkov SWAT.
Sniper,
yeah.
wasn't it?
Yeah. And like reduced HP. It's basically with the battle rifle, it's a 1 tap to the head. And so like, it would basically be like Tarkov SWAT where like, yeah, if you're new, bring in your stock SKS. You're going to be 1 tapping people. It'll be kind of fun. Yeah. But then the AI and the bosses and all the stuff that still spawn are just like freaking rip. It just like sucks the fun out of it when you know, wipe a 5-man and then die to an SKS scab.
Yeah.
Even faster than you normally die to the SKS scab when you're frustrated. So now it's just like, instead of him, he doesn't need the double damage bug to kill you anymore because all the bullets are double damage bugged. So
do you find yourself actually aiming for the legs more often if you're not memeing? Like,
no, I'm terrible at that, bro. I died like 8 times last night because I brought leg meta kits and I shoot people just center of mass nonstop, and then they kill me. It's so hard for me to rewrite that mental code of like shoot for center mass or head, but those are the only things you ever aim for.
Yep. Yeah, no, I mean, for the longest time, I was trained to like slow down and try to tap the head. But then with the net code and the jittery movement and stuff, I had to untrain myself because it was just impossible. It was just impossible, right? But then when you watch me play DMZ, it's like, headshot, right? So it's like I'm not lacking the skills to hit moving targets. It's just when there's a ton of weapon sway that is largely random. Right? Like it's not the same every time. If you make the same inputs, you're not going to get the same output because of the weapon sway. Sometimes goes to the left, sometimes goes to the right.
Yeah.
If your stamina's gone, it takes a while for it to like actually stabilize.
Yeah.
Then you have the breath, and then you have the jittery movement. It's just really hard to like line up the shots.
Yep.
Or you just used to be easier.
Yeah, for sure. So the event was like super interesting because it was like everyone was like, this is dumb. And then I played it and I was like, this is actually kind of fun. And then I was like, nah, this is kind of dumb. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, it'll be fun to just meme around on, but like, I hope this event's like 48 hours. You know what I mean? Like if it's
Yeah.
if we're talking about this event going on the next podcast, I'm not gonna be playing Tarkov probably. Like it's just not gonna. Woof.
Have you been playing Tarkov mostly, or have you been playing a little bit more DMZ, or what?
A little bit of both. A little bit of both. I was doing some sponsor stuff for like Warhammer Darktide, which I don't know if you ever played any of the Warhammer games. It's like you ever play Left 4 Dead back in the day?
Yeah, I wasn't really a fan.
Okay. Do you ever play like Doom?
Doom?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So it's like if Doom and Left 4 Dead had a baby in the universe of Warhammer 40K, which is like one of the most extensively lore-rich universes in all of like sci-fi, and it's like nuts. It's actually really fun.
So I've only ever seen my buddy who I worked with, one of the guys that actually got me into Magic way back in the day. He was like my second subscriber ever actually on Twitch.
Really?
Yeah. He would do like the tabletop,
Yeah.
the painted figurines. He'd spend all kinds of money and time to like hand paint all these things with these elaborate sets. With,
Yep.
You know, I didn't really know there was like a game and first person shooter.
They've done a few. So like there's been a few other games like Space Marine and Vermintide and a few other games. There's been a bunch of books. There's the tabletop thing. There's the figurines. There's a few games. There was like a fan made or like series. It's interesting stuff. Anyways, that was fun. I've been playing a little bit of DMZ, but mostly Tarkov. Mostly Tarkov. Yeah, there is some DMZ stuff I do want to talk about later though. But so we got that. We got the Chronicle of Ryzhy video. We got the event. Then we got a notification of some downtime tomorrow. So tomorrow, November 28th at 2 a.m. Eastern, we plan to install a technical update. The installation will take approximately 4 hours. So we're getting 4 hours of downtime tomorrow. I don't think it's like wipe or anything crazy like that, but it's close enough that it could be putting in the beginnings of like pre-wipe and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like normally it's like normally we get 1 to 2 weeks of pre-wipe. Every wipe for the past 2 years, pre-wipe has gotten more and more complicated. You know what I mean? Where it used to be like raiders are everywhere and then everything's 99% off. Like that was pre-wipe. That was it for like 6 wipes in a row. And
now
then
they've been doing all these elaborate events with different things.
Like lore stuff. And then like last wipe, they did the thing. You remember the thing where it was like the everybody's intoxicated and the airdrops drop 1 single antidote stim. And this was
when was this?
This was the this was the pre-wipe event for the wipe that happened in the summer. So this was like June. It was everybody's intoxicated. So it was like the extracts don't open for 10 minutes and you're gonna die in 8 minutes unless you like bosses had 1 antidote stim and the airdrops that came in would have 1 antidote stim. And that was like a crazy pre-wipe because it was all pushing PvP content, fast paced, because you had to get the thing, you had to take the stim, you had to get to the extract.
Did you just buy or bring in the antidotes?
I think, but you can only put like 1 on your person or something. I don't even remember. Okay. That was a crazy event. I actually really enjoyed that one. But like that was like a they've just been going crazy with events and doing a bunch of them. Like there's a lot more events that happen like, you know, day after day after day. Oh yeah, it was like unlimited stamina. Yeah. That event was actually fun as junk. So it could be like, I'm not necessarily expecting pre-wipe to start tomorrow, but like it's pretty, you know, they're doing 4 hours of downtime, so it's got to be something. There isn't any like egregious like bug that's in the game that I see them needing to like patch ASAP, and they keep saying over and over again in every possible Q&A that they still want to release this patch this year. They want to release Streets before the end of the year. So if they were really confident in all that stuff, and if they wanted to do a wipe before Christmas, it wouldn't surprise me if pre-wipe starts in the next 3 to 5 days, goes for 1 or 2 weeks, and then we get wipe. So we'll see. I mean, at this point, I'm just like, we'll wait and see. It was just more of like an interesting anecdote that they said, hey, we're doing an update tomorrow. And so it was like, could be pre-wipe.
Yeah. So is that what everybody's thinking? There's going to be a big patch and a wipe for Christmas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think we are going to get Streets with this next patch. I don't know if we're going to get this next patch before the end of the year. Does that make sense? I think they're committed to putting out Streets. And that might mean that they're like, hey, we have to push it to January. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that the patch gets pushed to February, March, April, but it's just like, but I do think we'll probably get streets in the next patch.
They're doing drops again?
I don't know. Honestly, I hope so. Drops are dope. Drops are super fun. But I don't know.
We'll see. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, based on, you know, I'm kind of working on a video right now talking about this, but like, I know it's all copium, and I know that I'm addicted to the copium, but like, if they land the plane on this patch, once again, not based on what Jesse wants in the patch, but based on what Nikita just said was going to be in the patch 2 weeks ago in a Q&A with Bestily, right? The next 2023 could be a crazy year. You know what I mean? Because like for a long time, Streets has been the like, for a long time, Streets has been like the gatekeeper to just a lot of other systems, like the storyline quests we won't get until we get much closer. A lot of the like traders, a lot of the like boss mechanics, a lot of the just like mechanics of things they want have all been like, this is going to happen on Streets, so we need to get Streets in before we can do this. So like, that's just
the storyline quests 1.0.
Yeah,
too,
that's
right?
1.0. There's been a ton of people. Obviously, a bunch of people have been working on Streets. So we have like, basically, we're really close to the end of the maps once we get Streets out, right? Because like the only other map that's on the map that we're not going to get is Terminal. And Terminal's obviously not the size of Streets. So like, so it's really hard to like, on one hand, you're like, Tarkov BSG is really slow at making maps, but then on the other hand, a big patch.
I just typed in chat with a patch. I meant to say big patch.
Because like, remember the whole Lighthouse debacle last year, where like in the summer of last year, they were like, we're actually going to do Lighthouse first, and it's in gray box. And you were like, you must have misspoke. And Nikita was like, no, it's in gray box. And then they actually released it that year. Like they powered through that map, and then everyone's been working on Streets. So after Streets, the only other thing is Terminal and the like starter area. So
yeah,
like,
but he also meant something different too when he said gray box. He meant something different than I thought.
Yeah.
Like there's a couple different interpretations, and I wasn't sure which he was using, but yeah.
But anyways, so like between that, they've said that they want to put a new audio engine in and replace Team Audio. They said that Arena is going really good. Everything he said that's coming, more hideout stuff, the Lightkeeper and the in-raid traders. So it'll be really interesting. I mean, like, it would be absolutely insane if like they release Streets, a big patch, and then like sometime in the late spring, early summer, they release Arena, or at least like public testing for it. Like, oh my God, that would be insane. You know what I mean? To like keep people just interested, and then that would lead people into the new wipe, and then maybe by the fall we get like the actual release of Arena, and like they could get into a place where they can really ping pong content a little bit. But yeah, I don't know. So we'll see. We'll see.
Actually, on the topic of drops, didn't the last few times they sort of did their own internal drops?
Well, okay, so they did Twitch drops. And then they started doing Twitch drops for a bunch of stuff. They started doing Twitch drops for like the summer wipes as well. And then they started doing Twitch drops for like their podcasts. And then they stopped doing Twitch drops for their own podcasts. During the Tarkov TV Live, they were like, type in this code on the website, which went terribly every time they've done it.
But have they done Twitch drops since they did those promo codes on their website? So I wonder if they like are like using like Twitch integration, because people just about it. They constantly are like, when do I get my drops? How does it work? Blah, blah, blah. I didn't get anything. I watched for X hours.
Yeah, so that's interesting. We don't know if they're going to be doing drops. We don't know if they're going to be doing Twitch drops. We don't know if they're going to be doing their own thing, that maybe a more fleshed out version of that. They could be doing nothing. They haven't really said anything. So, but yeah, that'll be interesting. And then, so other than the patch, we also got a tease for the Lighthouse sniper boss. Did you see that?
Is that on Twitter?
Yeah, 17-second clip. Basically, it's like Twilight. 3 PMCs are walking along the bridge.
Wait, with like Bella?
Yeah. No, like Jacob was there.
Oh my god.
Edward. Yeah.
I think we already talked about my admiration for.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Never mind.
Twilight. So that was basically 3 PMCs walking along the bridge. They all get sniped, and then in the shadows you see Antler Man stand up with an AXMC. So like, people were like, "Are you super excited, dude?" I was playing the other day on Shoreline, right? And people in the chat were like, "Bro, are you excited for the new boss that they teased, the new sniper boss?" And like 3 minutes after that, I was on Shoreline. I was chasing down some PMCs. I'm looking around. I throw a bunch of nades. I clear a bunch of corners. I run out 3 feet, fall over dead. Got double damage bugged by M61 to Bird Eye, who just God knows where he was. And I'm like, yeah, I'm super excited for the sniper boss with the better gun than the RSAS. You know,
is he using a thermal?
I don't know.
It looks like a thermal, or maybe it's the HHS. I can't tell. It's super dark. It's hashtag Twilight.
Hashtag Twilight. But it's like,
dude,
you know what I mean?
He's giving me some True Detective.
Yeah,
season 1 vibes with the antlers.
Yep.
And, Carcosa.
Yeah. Oh my, that was such a great season of television.
Oh god.
So that leads us to a lot of stuff though, where like we don't know. That's confusing because like it's just the rabbit hole, man. Like, would they release that boss without the Lightkeeper traitor? Because his whole purpose as a boss is to protect the Lightkeeper. So would they introduce him without the Lightkeeper? If they introduce him with the Lightkeeper, then that has much crazier implications. The original plan was that you would never really fight this boss, but he existed and you had to gain favor with him so that he would let you across the bridge, which a lot of people have been pointing out could be, have you seen during the Halloween event, there was, you know how there's like the flares that you, and then the flare gun?
Yeah.
So there's the flare gun. There's a green cartridge in the flare gun that when you shoot that, all the scavs in the vicinity become friendly to you. Did you ever see any of that? That's a thing. It's in the game. I have those green flares in my stash right now.
Wait, that's as a PMC?
Yes. So that happened during the Halloween event. And then after, during the Sanitar event, people that had them were using that to get their melee kills on Sanitar for the quest. You'd run into Fortress and hit it, and Sanitar's all his goons would just run up to you, and they're chill. And there's
if you kill one, do they unchill?
Yeah, then they're like, I'm pretty sure. Oh yeah, because I've seen
something they would completely break too. I'm surprised if they pulled that off.
Yeah. So that would be interesting if it was something like that, because a flare would make a lot of sense, right? You're way over here. The sniper boss is way over there. You pop the green flare, and then you've got, 10 minutes of time to like get over there, get your thing. That would also be really interesting it would let everybody know you're going over there, but it would mean people couldn't really push you out there because unless they had a green flare, they wouldn't be able to come out there, but then they'll just kind of camp you out on the bridge. Lots of questions, but like, there is a lot of questions like what happens if you do kill him? Like, is there some sort of separate karma system where if you do kill the boss, Lightkeeper won't sell you stuff for a certain amount of time? Like,
yeah,
so many questions, so little answers. So we don't even know. There's a possibility they just like put him in as a boss. They stick him up on the lighthouse and you can't kill him and you can't loot him and Lamau BSG doing BSG again. Or that tease could mean that the Lightkeeper's coming too, which has tons of other implications that we've talked about many times. Interesting stuff. I don't know. So there's that. Who knows? He's got an AXMC at least sometimes, which is just great. Dude, you know what?
What's the AXMC?
It's the 338 Lapua Bolty.
The sniper?
Mm-hmm.
It looked like he had just like the M1A with the... No, I gotta look at that again.
Yeah.
It looked just like an M1. Oh god. Well, actually, I guess maybe it's even a little bit better if he's got the bolty. He had an M1 and just like
yeah.
Well, better for him, not better for us.
Yeah.
I'd rather, because I mean, like, yeah, he's gonna hit every shot. So
every shot. So there's that.
I can't tell. Yeah, it is a bolty. I can see the bolt now.
Yeah.
The video rendering is
Oh yeah, Twitter compression.
Yeah, not great, but 115,000 views on a Twitter video. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So that's that. Apparently there was a Russian Q&A that is getting translated, and he talked, I mean, like, a lot of times he's just like, a lot of times with the Russian Q&As, they just like bounce around because I feel like he's just speaking his native language. Like they don't really have like a purpose. It's just like he's just like talking to people and they ask questions and he answers. So it was kind of all over the place. They talked about how there's no map to map travel on the first iteration of Streets, which wasn't really an expectation, but like maybe it got crazy. He said, talking again, that the arena is going really, really well. He's super excited about it, and they're already working on stuff like a website for it, a launcher for it. This is all translated, so it could have been crazy. They said that they want to continue to move the extracting to like a lot of the newer maps that have extracts that require something, this backpack, this to be turned on. You have to have this, which we kind of saw coming. He said that open world and map to map is still the plan. Lamau. He said that he confirmed that you will be able to replace armor plates in raid. Which I'm okay with as long as that's like a 30-second animation minimum. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want that to happen mid-fight because then you just like get people, you know what I mean? Like, you know how you kill people that have like 3 Alton visors in their Blackrock in case you shoot them in the face? It's like people.
No, I never kill those people.
People are going to come in with like 8 extra plates. You know what I mean? I love the idea at a 10,000 foot view of, once again, we've talked about many times, give me a reason to stay in the raid. And we've talked many times about one of the best things they ever added was a CMS kit. Because if I get a black leg to a scav, now I can stay in the raid. So if I'm looting and I find plates and then I keep those plates and I get shot up and I get into a fight and I win and my armor's trashed and I trashed his armor, the ability to then go seclude myself for a little bit, replace the plates, and stay in the raid, I love that. I won't like if it's a 1 second animation like COD and literally just like fights, just like I'm just gonna be like, God, like, you know what I mean? So
I wonder if that would be, if playing devil's advocate. You know, we've been saying for a while how like longer fights, longer time to kill, like, more time playing the game is good. Yeah. I wonder if that, I mean, there's a million ways to do it that I think would be better than like hot swapping armor. But at the same time, I feel like it might not be the worst thing in the world if you were able to, you know, maybe not 30 seconds, but maybe, you know, like, because every now and then I'll CMS.
Oh, I'll CMS mid-fight
in the middle
too.
of a fight.
Yeah.
You know, maybe if it's 10, 15 seconds or something, then
I
don't know. I could see it.
I just think like,
being all right.
I just think if it's too fast, it's layering on band-aids to a really bad thing, right? Because then that
would be perfect. It would be appropriate.
Yeah, because then you're like, once again, in COD, you want the plates because head to toe, the plate protects you. In Tarkov, it would be a, you know, a rich versus poor game. It would pull that even farther away, where it's like, if you're level 20, do you spend 80,000 extra rubles on another plate, knowing that you might get one tap to the face by an SKS scav? Probably not. But if you've got 100 million rubles, you're probably bringing a backpack full of plates. And it just feels like it pushes this thing as opposed to being something more intuitive, where if it covered you from head to toe and this was a way to push time to kill out longer, cool. You know what I mean? But like, I'm going to bring 3 extra plates. I'm going to get Magnum bucks to my leg. I'm going to bring no extra plates, and I'm going to get, you know, rip ammo to my chest, and I'm going to want an extra plate. And it's just like, you know what I mean? I feel like it should be something where, I don't know. I mean, we'll see. You know what I mean? We'll see. I'm not saying it would definitively be the worst thing. I'm saying like my guess would that it would just be kind of gross if it was too quick. But yeah, maybe 15 seconds as long as the CMS kit or as long as the Serve 12 kit, maybe.
I wonder if the only other thing that comes to mind too that makes that a little bit more exciting, again, depending on the weight, depending on the size, I would love it if they were like decently heavy, but if they were like 2x1. Yeah. Because then if you kill if you're solo and you kill a squad of 4, you can't take 4 armors.
Oh, that'd be cool.
So now you can take 4 plates and 2 guns or 3 guns.
See, that would actually be sick.
Because now you actually get value out of it, right?
Yeah.
Like the armor is no longer a 4x4 or a 3x3. You know, now it's a 2x1.
And then imagine you can buy a TV 110 from Ragman with class 4 plates in it, or you can just buy the TV 110 for cheaper with no plates. And now you're just filling them with plates you have in your stash.
Yeah.
If you're doing that, if you're min-maxing and just taking plates out, like stuff like that, I do think would be sick.
Yeah, it's kind of like if you take a rig with you, even if you're like using a bolt action or whatever, because it's like extra space in case you pick up a gun with mags or whatever. Yeah, no, I think there's something to that that I hadn't really considered.
I'd get all the like rat rig. I would always wear a rat rig, but with class 6 plates in it, so people would be like, "Oh, it's Timmy." And then, like, I'm like,
yeah. See, I wonder now what the difference between, like, what'll happen to the armors.
Yeah.
And how will they be different? Like, will a fort take 3 plates, or will it still just be 1 plate? There's so many questions.
Great. Yeah, lots of questions. They said that at one point they separated the tasks of the plate system was going to come in with the modular system. And right now the modular system is on hold, i.e. like you buy a base and then I want a 2x2 here. I want 3 1x2s here. I want 1x3. And then you can pick your plates. All of that, he said, like, we just kind of had to put that on the back burner. And they separated out the just ammo plates, the custom armor hit zones, like where you can get hit in the shoulder or whatever. And that's what's coming. I think, like, that would be all we needed to make that successful. Of course, I think the modular thing would be sick. But we have so many armored vests in the game already that have so many different variations. Like a TV 110 has 2 2x2s, 4 1x3s, and it's like,
see, I don't give a about those. Like,
so being able to put like classics armor in that, like, cool. Like, I don't think we necessarily need the custom thing because we already have so many different variations that, like, I think it's fine. Just give me. So I'm glad they separated that so we can get the plate thing in sooner, because I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, no, I don't really give a shit about being able to, like, have the exact combination of squares. Like,
exactly. It's cool.
It's never going to be relevant.
If we could snap our fingers and put it in the game, it's like, that's neat. But exactly, like, knowing the debt of features, I'm like,
yeah, it's like, I don't think it's worth spending any time on when there's so many options now, and most of the time the only thing I have to think about is, does this have 1 2x2?
Yeah.
Or 2 2x2s or 0 2x2s? Other than that, like, I almost never have a mag that's like a 3x1. Very rarely do I.
Yep.
So it just doesn't matter as long as it's got like 3 or 4 slots in it, maybe a single slot, and you know, it's cool when there's enough for like a helmet. But again, obviously that's another thing that doesn't make sense, right? Like
you would
kind of could. You could like hang a helmet maybe from like the Molly. I don't know, but yeah, I don't really care about that stuff. I'm more interested in the how the armor works and what sets them apart. Like, are the materials going to be different now? Like, because there's aluminum, there's the ultra
high weight, ceramic. Because in real life, all of those different materials that make up those armors all exist in the same form factor. Like, you know what?
It might be like the Kevlar plus the plates or something like that. Like, maybe the Kevlar is like 1 level of armor, and the plate is like, another level of armor. So you could have a 4+1.
Yeah. Because, like, when I did that video with Brownells, like, we had all that stuff on the table, and we shot, like, 5.5A1 and like some of these ammos against these things, and that was pretty mind-blowing stuff. But all the different, like, this one's ceramic, this one's ultra high weight, this one's light, this one's steel. It's the same form factor, you know what I mean? So it's all just like, so gamifying that would be cool and relatively realistic, of just like being able to like find plates in stashes, find them in raid, take them off players, take them off bosses. Like you were saying, being able to loot more things, keep them in your stash, take a TV 110. It'd be interesting if, like, you put a 6 plate in front, but you only have a level 4 plate left over. So you put a 4 plate in the back. Is that kind of stuff going to happen?
Yeah. I feel like they should almost like combine the armor level, like the class, and the material. Like, just make it so that, like, just to simplify it, make it so that ceramic is 3 and aluminum is 2, or like whatever.
They won't, but I agree.
Yeah, it's just like we don't need there's so many dimensions, right? Because there's the current durability, there's the original durability, there's the class, there's the material, there's the zones. There's so
Yeah.
many variables,
Yeah,
most
there's
of which you don't know how they
6
actually work or what they
classes,
mean.
and how 6 classes, 6 materials, something like that, 5 or 6 materials. So like there's just so many. And then
Like,
what we'll end up with is like ammo, right? Like there's how many different types of ammos in the game. Well, how many of them do you find in raid? 7. All right, 7.62 PS, 5.45 PP, and then the Keter ammo. You know what I mean? So it's like there's 36 armor plates, but all we're gonna find is like ceramic level 2s.
there's just more things that you find and you go, oh
Yeah,
you know, 'cause
yeah.
there's just 80% of the things are the bad things, and those are 95% of the things that you find.
Yeah. So like being able to like, yeah, simple. I would be down with that. I feel like they won't, but I would be down with simplifying it as well. But that was an interesting thing. There was some weird translation thing. Nolan was like, I don't know exactly what he meant here, but he was talking about in the next patch, lots of changes to tasks. And now, Nikita said it. It was translated, and then Nolan regurgitated what was translated, and then I'm regurgitating it to you. So as a preface
this
here,
is the ultimate phone of the ultimate game of telephone.
But it was something. So basically, I won't even try to say what he said. I'll say what it was implying. That with this update, in addition to changing some of the tasks, the player will have a little bit more agency over the order of the tasks and being able to swap them out. So like so right now we can like swap the random tasks, but imagine being able to like, pay to do Grenadier later or earlier or like something like that. It was something. Now there was no information given, but it was what was regurgitated that Nikita said was something along the lines of like being able to swap out tasks from the traders and like change the order of them, which could be cool. It could also be terrible, but it could be cool.
If you just have to spend $100K to like, then again, it's some more pay to win shit. Not pay to win, but you mean like in the game internally, like the more money you have, the easier it is to do the thing.
Exactly. But if there were some more choices where like right now we have a few quests where you complete it and you choose who you give it into. Imagine if imagine you complete debut and then like 3 tasks pop up for Prapor, and it's the Punisher part 1, some other quest and some other quests. And when you select that one, the other 2 go away. You're selecting which quest tree to go down. So like you can get Punisher done your first week if you wanted to, you know what I mean? Or this, like something like that could be an area where it kind of like gives you like, which one of these do you want to do? You're going to do them all eventually, but then you can kind of maybe do some of the ones that you would find later earlier. Like I'd love to accept capturing outposts on day 1. That would be so great. You know what I mean? That would be so great. So like,
something
who
tells
knows?
Me, that's sounds way too good to be true. maybe it's kind of like you can always choose, 4 or 5 to work on actively.
Maybe
that you have enabled.
Or maybe they just reduced some of the level requirements of them so that you just have access to more earlier, and that's all they meant by it. So like you could do this earlier if you want. Who knows? But that was just an interesting little.
So how sure are we that that's what he was implying?
Not at all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Someone in chat just said, I think he said some tasks were swapped around and that there were also changes to tasks.
Yeah.
So who knows if you have the ability to swap them around or if they're swapping them. I mean, that's one of those things like a translation.
Exactly.
One word, we swap things or you can swap things.
One word, completely different things. So it was just like exactly. I mean, and even Nolan in his video, nice guy, was like, literally every single thing here is like, who knows? This is way too far. He's like, I'm reporting on it because I think it's interesting, but like literally none of this could mean what we think it means. You know what I mean? So, but I just found that interesting. And then the other thing he was talking about was adding a Skyrim-esque type of thing where like you might have Intel Center level 3 built, but you can't get access to a few crafts unless you find an item in game that are like books on a particular subject that then give you access. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know how you like find
like spell book?
Spell book, or like the bobbleheads in Fallout where you find a thing and then that gives you some knowledge or whatever. So he was saying that was
Is that just basically like a fetch quest to like? I mean,
No, I think it's like random. I think it's kind of cool personally. I think it increases or it encourages exploration potentially. I don't think they would be in the same place everywhere because then everyone would just make a guide. But like more looting, staying in the raids, and it's just like you might get access to some cool craft. You know what I mean? As long as it's not like as long as it's not like this is the meta craft, and if you find this book, you can make 17 million rubles per day. You know, as long as it's not bull crap like that.
Or it's you find the book in this bag or this crate.
Yeah.
And then now it becomes the new mark room.
Exactly.
You know,
exactly. So please, God, no.
It has to be like either truly random. So like there's reason for me to go to dorms and search in 111 and 113 and 115 and 116 and 119 and 120 and, you know, and have all the keys.
That's
and all that
what
stuff.
I want. Yeah. Completely random. It's an item. It's not like a game breaking thing, but it's just like, because it's more opportunities for you to be in a raid and go, oh, this is cool. And that not just translate to 1 billion rubles. You know what I mean? Like it used to be where it was like, oh, Aletics, I don't need this, but it's just 1 billion rubles now. You know what I mean? Like that's like a thing that actually is kind of cool. You know what I mean? I craft stuff all the time. I'm constantly crafting ammo. I'm constantly crafting cases. I'm constantly crafting meds. Like, you know what I mean? Like imagine getting access to like an ETG craft. Even if that craft was expensive, I would be running that craft all the time. Does that completely change my gameplay? No, but I would use it. You know what I mean? If I found a book on health and science and got access to, you know what I mean? So it's like, I think it could be cool.
Make it so you can't sell the thing.
Yes.
You craft a useful thing. You can craft enough of it to last you a couple of days or whatever. Yeah. Then that would be amazing. Yeah. But can you imagine if in every raid there was guaranteed to be like one of this super valuable for you rare thing? If it was in every raid, I mean, I would spawn in on customs and go to Big Red and search every container. I would go to dorms and every room in every container, you know, like, but then I guess if it's just a book that you need for craft and then it's like, well, then once you get 2 or 3 or 4 of them, then you no longer need to look anywhere again, right?
Yeah,
so like maybe you can sell it to therapists for
decent money,
200,000 rubles or something like that.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? Oh, that kind of reminds me of the whole like enchantment table thing that they haven't talked about. Like you remember they showed off in a podcast the whole like you can how did they do it? Does anybody remember where you like repaired an armor?
You got to burn incense.
And then the armor was like damage mitigation, or they repaired a gun and the gun had like bonus damage.
It was the repairing gave it like,
yeah. It was like, I couldn't remember if it was just like the repair kit just had a random chance to roll a random stat in a random percentage, or if they were like special repair kits that did that. I can't remember, but I do remember that they put that in footage in a podcast in August, and they've literally never talked about it again. So one could reasonably assume that was coming in the next patch because they showed it to us 5 months ago or 3 months ago or whatever, but they haven't talked about that. So that's just interesting. That's just interesting. I wonder if that's coming with the hideout changes. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's going to play a part in it as well. Maybe maybe the repair skill, the weapon repair skill, the higher that skill is, the higher percent chance you have to proc a bonus stat. Maybe, you know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know why. Like thinking about this again, I don't remember what my initial response was. I think I liked it.
Yeah, you liked it.
And I vaguely recall you didn't like it.
And I was like, what the hell? Yeah.
Because I like RPG shit. Like I like choice.
Too.
I like, but so just thinking about it again, for some reason, I don't know why, that just sounds different than I remember it being. But maybe I've just been out of it for so long, it just sounds new because I haven't been thinking about it. But I don't know, that just, again, assuming a reasonable, a cool, logical, reasonable, but cool set of buffs.
Yeah.
Not like something completely crazy. I don't know, that makes it more interesting, right? Because I've been saying for the longest time how having like how the idea of having like a unique rare gun is amazing,
Yes.
but in the context of the fact that you get to maybe kill one person with it before you die makes it so that it's actually not amazing.
Not
It's
amazing,
actually like
yeah.
super depressing. You'll never want to use it except for the one time you will wear all level 6 armor, and then that's when you just get wrecked by the cheater. Or at least that's what you're gonna do, so you're never gonna do it until some future date where you are like somehow confident that it's not gonna happen, which will never happen, and you'll get wiped. But like, you know, if you get a 82% Vepr off of a scav, it's almost like you can just sell it to fence, you can sell it to Prapo, or you can use a few points of the repair kit and see. Maybe you roll the reload speed ×2 or something like that. You're like, oh shit! It's almost like a little gachapon box, a little loot crate, you know, where it's like, am I gonna get the factory new Karambit? You know, like I don't know. It could be interesting.
Kind of agree with you. I think our roles are flipped here. I think you and me almost always feel the same way about new features. And normally what's happening is I'm super like, this could be really cool. And you're like, but we always agree that the idea...
We're disagreeing on how they're going to do it.
Yes, exactly. We both almost always agree on if a feature would be cool or not. I'm saying I'm excited for it because I imagine they'll implement it the right way. And you're saying I'm not excited for it because I imagine they're going to implement it the wrong way. And this conversation is flipped. The more you talk about it, the more I agree with you, actually, where it's like, bring us back to that 0.9, 0.10 of like you kill a guy and you find a rare gun. Imagine finding a class 5 armor and it's like, plus 20% damage absorption. I want to get this back and repair it. Like I want to like that feeling of like, oh, rare gun, rare armor. That's cool. But so many steps have to be got right for that feeling. It can't be that you get to a point in the wipe where literally every gun and every armor on every PMC is enchanted. You know what I mean? There can't be a way to just like guarantee the best stats all the time. It can't be just something that's just like you can just dump money into and always get exactly what you want. Like it has to be rare. The percentage values have to be significant enough to be cool, but not so significant that you're just a walking tank. If those things get implemented well, the more you talk about it, the more I think about it, the more I do like, because it is something I've wanted for a really long time. Bring us back to that feeling of finding something cool in raid and wanting to get out with it to use, like, not to sell. But I just feels like they have to get so many other things right.
And see, now you've changed my mind back to being pessimistic. Well, now all I'm thinking about is, again, you never played Diablo.
Correct.
Have you ever seen the game?
Yeah.
I'm sure so, or maybe you've seen like Path of Exile or like those kinds of games where when I first played it, the first couple of days, you go in and you have like a white axe and it's like 3 to 5 damage and you're like, okay, cool. And then you find like a fucking berserker axe and you're like 8 to 15 damage, like, oh shit. And then like later on you find a magical one and it's like +5 endurance. You're like, oh cool, it's a magical one, that's really cool. And then later on you find out that like there are magical ones with 19 stats all maxed out that are like game breaking, and then there are also rare ones and epic ones and all these other things, and then you can take a normal one and socket it and put these sockets in, and then you get 900 things that all are like you could never imagine. And then it's like whenever you play and you find every white and blue and yellow item you find is like, ugh, like you don't give a anymore. So what I don't want them to do is to make it so that if you find a 99% M4 that normally you're like, oh, okay, cool, you know, I can mod this out, it'll be cool. But if it's just like not, if it has no stats on it, you're like,
if there's 1,000, if there's 10,000 slicks in existence in the game, it can only be a few percentage of them that are enhanced. Because if we get to the point where more of them are enhanced, then all the other ones become baseline. They become invalidated. Then 100 durability guns we will treat as like, it used to be when you killed a scav that had a gun you liked, like an AKM, you were like, ooh, like I can take this back and mod this if I'm balling on a budget. Now all scav guns are irrelevant because they're 11.5 durability. Well, if most of the guns PMCs have are enchanted now, well then when you find a 100 durability M4 in a barrel stash, you'll be like, it's not even worth taking because it's not enchanted. You know what I mean? And it's just like, exactly.
The only exciting thing will be finding the rare gun with the rare max enchantment, right? Like finding the 4-socketed or the 5-socketed flail that has 15% max durability, and it's like, unless like you're only ever gonna use the one with the 15% and not the 14% because nobody will want it. It has no, like, what's the point if it's not min maxed?
So
so now the idea is garbage. And
so the more you talk about it, the more I'm like, if executed well, it could be really cool, but it's like, if executed well is the really big caveat there, you know what I mean?
This is the one thing you're skeptical of them pulling off. Everything Streets is gonna be awesome.
It's gonna be this year, bro.
It's gonna be great, dude. But no, they can't do. They're not gonna be able to pull off an enchanting table.
Listen, balance has traditionally been one of the things they're the worst at. So, but how we got to this was like, what's weird is they haven't talked about that since that podcast. And so with all the other stuff coming, all the other stuff he talked about on the multiple podcasts, on the interview with Nick Pesley, like, I'm just surprised we haven't heard about it. So I'd just be interested to see if it's something that's coming, if it's getting pushed back, if they deleted it, if it's going to become a part of the armor plate system we were talking about earlier. Who knows? Which is a little interesting tidbit there. Yeah, so I think that's all the like news. Yeah, like we said, arena, change extracts, open world. He said something to the effect, once again, we need the translation, but yeah, the effect that open world is still the plan. We're so... If Nikita was looking me in the eyeballs right now and was like, we absolutely still want open world, I don't think my emotions...
They're going to do open world. It's going to be...
I don't think my emotions would change at all. Because it's just like, I feel like I can't believe anything until I'm playing Streets of Tarkov. Like, you know what I mean? Like, until I'm in that map, WASDing around, I feel like I just can't believe anything past it until we get it.
So when it comes to open world, though, like, is it because you think the performance is going to be rough?
No, just because like, building a map that can hold 50 players, if it took 4.5 years, you know, how are we going to support 150 players on all the maps? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. And not all the maps are done, and not all the maps are gold standard. You know what I mean? I still can't shoot a light bulb on Shoreline and have it explode. You know what I mean? So it's like, now there's a universe where they do hit us with Streets, and then 2023, they just like power through. They like interchange, you know, maybe I would imagine we're getting like a Unity upgrade with this patch, because they had been teasing they wanted to get to Unity 21 or whatever. Maybe they're just like, you know, maybe the dam breaks open, and if they've got 200 map designers and 198 of them have been on Streets, they release Streets, and 50 of them stay on Streets. Maybe 2023 goes nuts and we get an interchange update and a Shoreline update, and they're optimizing it and top down. There's a world where that exists, but it's just like, until we get Streets and until I see, like, when I'm on Streets, am I at 43 FPS or am I at 90 FPS? You know what I mean? Like, until I get that stuff, I just like I can't even really consider open world. Map to map travel seems like the lower hanging fruit, where it's like they kind of like get the pseudo open world without the open world. Obviously, you and I have talked many times about how we want true open world and how sick that would be, but I don't know.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but it was just interesting. I guess the interesting thing is just like, he's still talking about it, which is like the sliver of me, the inner child that I want to protect, that has always got the hopium. I'm at least glad they're still saying it and they haven't just like ghosted the idea, because like, I want Star Citizen to succeed for my grandchildren, I do want open world. You know what I mean?
I mean, there was like a 3-year period of time where he said nothing about Arena. So I basically, every time people had mentioned Arena, I'd be like, there's no way Arena's coming. Because he hadn't talked about it in forever. And all the things he had been talking about, only 60% of them actually, you know, ended up making it into the game, or being planned to make in the game. And it sounds like a lot of the others he just scrapped, which is reasonable and, you know, understandable. But then all of a sudden, Arena was like the thing, and it was almost like they were focusing on it, almost done, and I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
Whereas open world has been a thing, you know, he's been talking about
forever.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just really hope it's not like what Skillet in chat said, where it's like you go to the exfil and now it's extracting and then it fades to black and then it's loading loot for another map, because it's like there's not enough backpack space or hydration or bullets.
Correct. Yeah.
For me to survive one map most of the time and make it out, let alone having to go between multiple before I get to put the shit away.
No, yeah.
You know?
The
So,
dead
I mean, maybe
drops
half the
and
extracts are going to be go back to your stash, and half the extracts are going to be go to another map, which, again, it's still like, why would you want to
yeah.
if you can go to your stash and drop shit off before you go? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's almost like, why would you want to?
I want the dead drops, man. That would be sick.
I just want to, as much as like I know 50%, at least 50% of the people want to literally IRL crucify me for this. I really wish you could just get back into the same server on the same map.
Oh, yeah.
If it was open world, I mean, even if it wasn't open world, like just to be able to have a round 2 and to get your shit back and to, you know, like potentially fight the same team a second time. And
Yeah.
you know, people want to say that's not Tarkov. Well, I mean, you don't get to say what Tarkov is.
Yeah. Nobody does.
Only Nikita gets to say what Tarkov is. All I can say is that I think it would be amazing.
Yeah, I think it would be
for
fun.
reasons that I think a lot of them actually haven't considered.
Yeah.
Like, what makes Tarkov isn't that you can't respawn in to the same raid. There's a million things that make Tarkov, but like that's not one of them inherently. You could still have Tarkov be exactly like Tarkov, but then imagine if you could possibly get back into the same raid 3 minutes later on the opposite side of the map where you died.
Yeah.
It's still Tarkov, except now you get to fight potentially, you know, you are your own reinforcements.
That's how you get the people that are like, you don't make the AI easier because that's what makes Tarkov. It's like you're just saying because Tarkov is the way it is, literally everything about it is what makes it Tarkov quintessentially, and changing any of those things is killing and murdering the spirit of Tarkov. And it's
begging the question. It's circular reasoning.
Yeah.
Or it's the no true Scotsman fallacy, which is the following is a simplified rendition of the fallacy. No Scotsman puts sugar on his porridge, person B, but my Uncle Angus is a Scotsman and he puts sugar on his porridge, person A, but no true Scotsman puts sugar on his porridge. So yeah, that's a dog shit example that why would Wikipedia have sugar on porridge?
Sugar on porridge.
Jesus Christ. But yeah, like so if you use that logic, then Nikita can never update the game because he's making Tarkov something different. So
yeah, you can't add streets. Not having streets, wanting streets but not having streets is part of Tarkov.
Broken sound is part of Tarkov. All the bugs are part
Terrible
of Tarkov.
netcode. Cheaters are a part of
Yep, the game crashing is part of Tarkov.
Yeah, like
right?
it's friggin'
all of these.
Yeah.
Nothing that isn't in Tarkov now that would change any of the aspects of could possibly be. I mean, ultimately what it comes down to is the things that they like. Those are the things that are Tarkov. The things that they don't like, those are unintended and they're going to get changed or fixed. And that has to be what Nikita wants, because I want it. It must be what Nikita wants. Or conversely, I don't like Veritas, or I don't like insert clean. I don't like insert streamer here, whoever it is. Therefore, whatever they want is changing the game to be either too hardcore for no-lifers, or more casual, or easier, or harder, or, you know, whatever fits the narrative of, you know, whatever they believe.
Yep. Okay, so one last Tarkov thing. I've been thinking about this a lot and talking. I want to get up on my soapbox on it here because it's just you and me. And when I try to talk about it in chat, people are chill about it, but it's just like somebody comes in the middle and then I have to start over. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's whatever. Dude, okay.
I just got here. Can you start over?
Okay. Have you at all, like, I know you've played a little bit of COD. We play some DMZ and stuff like that. Not a whole ton though. But have you like looked at any of the like the camos in COD, like how the camos are, how to acquire them and stuff like that?
No, because every time I've gone in to look at the camos, I end up, the camera angle is inside of the buttstock.
Yeah. There's
crazy bullets in the maggots, so I don't know what they look like.
Yeah.
All I saw was one time you had a golden gun.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that looks sick. And then that was the only thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I've never seen another one, and I can't see it outside of the game.
Yeah, I killed a dude with a golden gun. Anyways, okay, so there's like 80 different camos in Call of Duty. Now, hear me clearly, listener. 60 of them are, you know, fairies and unicorns and like, you know, polyatomic and the Orion skin in gold, you know, like 60 of them are cheese ball, right? But like 20 of them are just, without exaggerating, cool, realistic looking camos. Right? Like a desert one, forest ones, green ones, white ones for snow mat, like just cool. Okay.
Like how the guys would take the ghillie suit kind of material and then like spray paint on over their guns, like in real life.
Like in real life that people do this. If you look up your favorite gun YouTuber viewer, Garantham, Demolition Ranch, all these guys have videos on like how to paint your gun. Brownells is one of the most respected firearms like marketplaces, and they sell attachments, stuff like that. They like spent a bunch of money like manufacturing their own like gun paint. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
this is a thing, okay?
Not fake.
Not fake. The way that COD does their camouflages would tremendously benefit Escape from Tarkov and like provide literally endless content. So like all of the camouflages are like done behind like challenges, right? So it's like get 30 double kills with this weapon, get, you know, this, use this, win, you know, capture, get this many points while capturing a hard point. Like there's all these challenges, and then like a bunch of this, and then a bunch of the skins, you unlock the skin, and it unlocks the skin for any weapon you build. You can use that skin, and then each gun has the 4 skins: silver, or the platinum, the gold, the Orion, and the polyatomic.
Did you just
four skins?
every gun has 4 skin. They're yeah, no, Russia's completely against circumcision, everybody.
Yeah.
You heard it here first.
God dang. All right. So I think that would be, now, once again, before you start typing the comment, I'm going to say that I think this is cool, and I'm not saying that Nikita should wake everybody up, pull them off their tasks. All right. We should leave the anti-cheat in the dust, and we should make camos. I'm not saying we should leave the network how it is or the audio. I'm just, in a vacuum, in a perfect world, I think it would be so dope for there to just be like legitimately like 10 cool camos pre-made, not like you know, I find a can of spray paint in Raid.
You get to put foil stickers anywhere you want.
Yeah. Pre-made cool camos, and every single gun has you can earn the camos for. And like let's say like the challenges are the same, right? It's like,
dude, I mean they already have.
Yeah.
Like I've literally, the fact that I am like the Tarkov science guy, and I've never once actually gave a about any of the progression of the individual guns. Never once have I cared. I've never cared because it's so irrelevant. I would suddenly care now if I could. Assuming that I could unlimited put whatever I wanted unlocked on any gun in my stash, just press a button.
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
My thing is like, you get to level 1 mastery of a gun, and you unlock 5 camos that each have just a challenge associated with them. It could be kill 50 PMCs, kill 50 scavs, kill 30 bosses, extract 75 times, whatever, like with this gun in your hand. And then you get to level 2 mastery, and you get like 4 more that are harder challenges. And then you get to level 3 mastery, and maybe you unlock like 1 final challenge for 1 final skin.
Wait, so the only thing I would say to that is those just sound like more daily quest bullshit. Why don't you just make it tied to the mastery? Make it so there's 10 levels of mastery, and every level you unlock a new skin.
I mean, sure.
They don't need to do anything else, because they're just gonna, what they're gonna do is they're gonna make more dumb challenges that are pointless and annoying.
Maybe. See, I think we need more dumb challenges that are pointless and annoying. Long term, though, like daily challenges where it's like that's not tied to money, right? Like for instance, the Killa, the tracksuit thing. The first wipe that was in the game, when like you could actually find Killa and stuff like that. Like that quest is almost such a good quest, because like we've said before, my idea, I think, for that quest, that quest should be get 250 PMC kills on interchange with an RPK.
Yeah.
Because then it encourages people playing the map the way it's supposed to be played, not stimming in, looking for kill, I can't find him, leave. It's play interchange, kill people anywhere on the map, whatever. Use an RPK like Killa, you get that skin. That's such an arbitrary, stupid thing that if you don't want to do, you don't have to do. I think it would be cool to have more of that, because then like everybody has access to this, right? Like everybody could like get a gun that they like to level 1 mastery and get like a camo for it. And what's cool is if you do it individually, like imagine killing a guy and you were like, he's got this cool desert camo on a KS-23, and you're like, damn, this guy's got level 2 mastery, and he extracted 100 times with a KS-23 in his hand,
and it's got plus 3% damage enchantment.
Yeah, you're like, yeah, you were like, that'd be sick. You know what I mean? So like the gun things would be cool. Like you'd be finding people with skins. So like if you only have a few hours a week to play, you could engage in this gameplay loop, because you can pick your one favorite gun, get it to level 1 mastery, and unlock a camo for it. And like you could participate in that gameplay loop with only a few hours a week. If you've got 1,000 hours a week to play, now you're incentivized to use non-meta guns if you're trying to get skins for all of them. You're incentivized to continue to play, but you're incentivized to play in not a way that's just completely like dumb like the Killa quest was, where because if it's like if one of the skins, if like the level 3 mastery skin is get 500 PMC kills, it's a cool challenge that you get to play the way you want to play. Now you're incentivized to continue playing the game, but to continue playing the game the way you want. You can go labs, you can go factory, you can go customs, and you can play the game. And so like they don't have to, once again, we're talking like 5 or 6 challenges that maybe you just like repeat on harder difficulties. Kill PMCs, kill scavs, kill bosses, extract a certain amount of times. Like that simple, because then it's like, it's such an endless level of then customizability and finding cool guns in raid. Everybody can participate. And it's, I mean, thousands of hours of additional content of keeping people playing the game and not wanting to smash their monitor looking for Killa.
So yeah, there's 2 things I really like about that. One of them is, well, I would want it to be kills or headshots or something, as opposed to like exfil with the gun, because then you'll carry the gun in your backpack and pull it out. You know what I mean? But like whatever it is, tied to using that gun, I think could be really cool. And then I mean, your idea about the RPK in interchange is like the greatest thing
infinitely better,
because it reminds me of wear the blue armor.
Yes,
because you need to do I mean, even DMZ had a quest. I instantly read it and was like, genius quest. It was like, you have to go get the
LTV
tank,
yep,
go shoot some people over there, pretend like you're another faction, and then dump the evidence. It was like, I love that false flag shit, you know, whatever. Like the other element of that too is that, like, let's say you buy the gun, as long as you're not like, it would suck if you really want to do it with like the RSAS, but you can only get 1 RSAS every 48 hours. You know what I mean? But ignoring those cases, if you have a 1v4 and you kill 3 people and then you die to the 4th guy, you're still like, I made 3 progress towards the thing.
Yes, bro. It means fights you even lose can potentially be progress. And I don't even care. That would make it all the more cool if I killed a guy with an RSAS with a camo. In my opinion, it's like, damn, like this guy.
Imagine if it was like every gun was, the first one was kill scabs. The second one was kill X sniper scavs. The third one was kill PMCs. The fourth one was headshots with PMCs. The next one was bosses. Now it's an instant, like, and it's an instant.
All you have to do is take those 5 at level 1 mastery. You get 5 camos. Those are the quests. Level 2 mastery, you get those same quests again, but like times 5 of the amount. And then level 3 mastery, you get like 1 final skin with some crazy challenge. Like, it doesn't. I'm not saying it couldn't be cooler than that. They could make it cooler by that by making like 10 challenges. But like, it could be that simple and be 99% effective on. And the thing is that like people, like so many people I was talking, and they were like, yeah, but like, I don't want camos on my guns. And I was like, don't do it. Like since when is having options like such a bad thing? Like, it just, once again, I'm not saying
I don't want to eat Thai food. Close all Thai restaurants.
Yeah, exactly.
Right now, close them, because I don't want to eat it.
It's like, yeah, so it's like, it's just one of those things where like, it was like, I'm not even like, they're not going to do this ever.
This is too good of an idea.
It's too good of an idea.
It's too reasonable. It's
but it
too
would be
fun.
so simple. You know what I mean? To like, and I'm not saying it would be easy, but it would be simple to like them decide on a few different camos. They then have to go through and model what those camos would look like on every gun, on every attachment combination, right? Like they have to do it just like Call of Duty does. That your skin applies to all your attachments or whatever.
Yeah, it should just be like a layer on the thing. Just click and drag it in the. I'm sure it's probably 5 minutes. Dude.
But then it's done,
Sarcasm,
and it's literally so much additional content. Like I've been saying, like for so long that the content that players want doesn't have to be complicated. You know what I mean? Like so many more people would go for tracksuit if that was the quest. If it was kill 250 PMCs on interchange with an RPK, so many more people would play longer if there were more challenges to get more of the cosmetics, more of the stuff. Everybody freaking like,
and it promotes more PvP as well.
100%. And PvP in a good way, not PvP in like everybody has to go here for this event and do this one place. It just promotes PvP on maps, on everywhere. You know what I mean? It keeps more people playing. You know what I mean? Like it's so weird. People are so weird because you know what I mean? It's like, they're like, yeah, we don't need that. But then they're like, my raids are so dead, bro. It's like, because there's no reason to play the game. You know what I mean? You can get all the quests done in 2 months and there's no reason to play the game. You know what I mean?
It just seems like people they're the types of people that are looking for some reason to poo-poo your idea because it reminds them of, oh, well, all we're going to end up with is neon LED Hello Kitty jingling
for sure,
trinket swinging from the thing, and I don't want that. Everything is a slippery slope.
Yeah,
right. Everything is a slippery slope, but the thing is that like it doesn't, like not everything has to be a slippery slope.
Yeah,
you don't have to take everything to the nth
exactly degree. Let's talk about how literally in Escape from Tarkov, in this game that so many people protect as their precious realistic games, there are literally cosmetics that you unlock by paying money with in-game currency.
There's a golden gun in the game.
There's actually a golden gun in the game. They added,
and nobody cares about it. Nobody uses it because it happens to be a dog shit gun.
Yeah. They added cosmetics to the game. Where are my Fortnite dances, right? Where are my custom emotes? Where's my battle pass? Where's all the things they say that, well, if they add cosmetics, well, then they're going to start charging. It's going to be microtransaction. There's going to be naked PMCs and all sorts of weird Burger King ad integrations. There's just
going to be men naked kissing, and it's going to be Hello Kitty Adventure Island the moment you let me choose my pants.
And now we've had cosmetics in the game for like almost 2 years now. They're awesome. So many people wear so many different skins. There's like a legitimate reason I want to get to level 55 when I'm he can't hear anything I'm saying. I'm just kidding.
He's not talking, is he? Okay. I plugged in my thing and was like, dude, my headphones are so scuffed. I got a cough drop and I dropped it and it shattered, and then I bent over and unplugged my headphones.
Just shenanigans.
Now it's broken.
Lick it up off the floor. Anyways, I'm saying like there's cosmetics in the game right now. People love them. It gives me a reason. When I'm a USEC, it gives me a reason to want to get to level 55 because I want to spend 7 million rubles on the Urban Responder pants because I think they're the coolest pants. And like, and nobody's freaking out. Also, the copium meme has gone too far. So like everyone in the chat when I was talking about that idea was like copium Lamau, and nobody knows what that means anymore. I literally preface this as like, this would be a cool idea. I don't think they should take any devs off of to do anything, and they'll probably never do it. And everyone's like, copium, like you don't even know what that means anymore. Like I'm allowed to have an idea without being someone that's sucking Nikita's dick, being like, please God, I believe it. Streets is happening tomorrow. I just know it. I just know it. Like you don't even know what copium is anymore.
It's a way for people to do the thing that we talked about before, which is I am in the know.
Yes.
You are clearly ignorant.
Yes. The lifeboat theory, man.
I'm going to just basically, it's the whole idea of I disagree with you and you're completely wrong, and I'm gonna summarize it in one word.
Yeah, copium. Yeah.
Like you know,
it's like
sheep. It's the new. You're a sheep.
Yeah,
you're sheep.
Yeah.
Oh, you actually believe that medicine actually makes you healthy? Oh no, all the pharmacists in the world. It's all a big conspiracy to take your money. They don't care about your health at all. Doctors, they're just in it for the money. They don't actually heal anything.
Yeah.
Read the literature.
Read the literature.
It's copium is it's the same thing, dude.
Yeah. So anyways, that was my idea. Like, I just like, I know it's not going to happen. I don't want them pulling devs off of making the audio better to do it. You know what I mean? And I know we're going to get those comments, but like, I would be hard pressed for somebody to give me a reason why that wouldn't be incredible for the game. And if you didn't like it, you just didn't have to do it. It was like when we talked about with VoIP, right? Where it's like, how could that be a negative to the game where if you don't enjoy that, you can literally just turn it off? Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you don't want something, so it's like such a cycle, right? If you don't want something, as long as it's implemented in a way where not everybody has to do it, then that's fine. But then also secondarily, if you like this game, you want the game to be healthy, right? So it's like people don't connect all the dots, right? That's stupid. I don't want camos, so screw that. There's no reason why that would be a good idea. 13 minutes later, my raids are dead, man. Nobody's playing this game anymore. It's too late. And it's like, are you not even connecting the dots on like, you only play 3 hours a week. So you have, you know, like if they stopped wiping, you have like 2 years worth of content. And that's okay. I'm not shaming you for only playing 3 hours a week. You have unlimited content, right? Like there's so much to do in Escape from Tarkov right now that if you only play 3 to 5 hours a week, it's gonna take you a really long time to get through it.
It took me 10,000 hours to get bored with the game. You got some leeway.
But if you want the game to be healthy and be full of players, well, then the people that then putting content in that doesn't hurt you in any way, that helps promote people that are in different stages of you that maybe have played longer than you or can have more time to play than you, keeping them around means your raids are more full, means the percentage of cheaters is probably a little bit lower. Like it's healthier for the game and that's better for you. So it's like people don't even realize how these things can potentially benefit them by giving people things to do. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't understand why WoW is introducing another raid. I haven't got past the first expansion. It's like, yeah, but don't you want other people playing WoW long term so that you can like get to that content and experience that with them? You know what I mean? Like,
no, you want the devs to do exactly what you want or to not do exactly what you want. That's all that matters is the thing you care about. Anything else is bad because it's not the thing that you care about and it's taking away from the thing you care about. It might be cheaters. It might be content. It might be quests. It might be whatever.
So it's like, I feel like, and additionally, why I get weirded out when people are like vehemently against the idea. If you're like, the gun camo thing has always been weird to me, I'm like, oh, that's fine. Like, that's all respect that. But when people are vehemently against it, what I find interesting is that like the cosmetics we have in the game proved everything I said about this in every single point. It proved that they can add cosmetics to the game that aren't unicorns and fairies, right? Each faction has like 11 different options for tops and bottoms, and they all look cool and they're dope and they're not My Little Pony. So it's proven that they can do that and make it look realistic. So I believe they can make camos look realistic. Secondarily, it's proven that people are jonesing for stuff to spend money on and things to do. The fact that people still have tracksuit means that for all the completionists out there, like I know like Thick Boy Ben, he's a homie of mine. He doesn't have tracksuit. He's not insane, but he's level 63 and he's still doing his dailies and weeklies because he's just got that completionist. Like I just want to be doing quests. I want to be questing. So it proved the fact that people are spending like tens of millions of rubles on cosmetics and that people are willing to do these quests where it's like kill Sturman 25 times for the Mark 18, kill 100 times for the tracksuit. It proves that people are jonesing for things to do. So like every part of this other idea has been proven to be true in the current Escape from Tarkov that we have. How could this be a bad thing? Like, I just don't get it.
Yeah, keep puffing the copium, bro.
Yeah, keep puffing the copium, bro.
Just keep puffing and read the literature.
Yeah.
Man.
So they're never gonna do it, but I had to just like get it out to somebody who could just like look me in the eye and hear the whole idea, right? Because like it's just like,
and see, that's the thing is that like I never gave a ever about weapon skins. I never poo-pooed the idea. I just didn't care, and you sold me on it.
Yeah.
And it's just like the cosmetics. I have played multiple wipes where I paid no attention to the pants or whatever. I just didn't care. And then also I've had a couple of wipes where I'm like, I really want to save up and get the sick pants and the sick whatever, So
yeah. It just seems like, and then especially when we've talked before about how many features, like we don't have like a name for this formula, but there's like the feature, how much development time does it require, and how much does it actually affect how long people play the game? Like we've talked about like Lighthouse, right? Like how many man hours did Lighthouse take? And how many people have exclusively continued to ride out Tarkov because Lighthouse was in the game? You know what I mean? What's the benefit? And I'm not saying like Lighthouse is a bad example because they want all the maps in, but we've talked about that with other features. So like the other win for this is that like comparatively to like some of these other things, it feels like a relatively small amount of development time and a relatively high amount of like yield of like keeping players engaged in the video game, which is ultimately what video games want, is people engaged in the video game. So that it just feels like a win there as well. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, man. I'm thinking about how much I would love a foliage spray and a ghillie suit, and then I might actually enjoy sniping.
Yep.
I mean, I can't see the odd thing is though is that like if there's a PMC wearing the most ridiculous blue shit standing in the open in the field, I can't see him. So a ghillie suit,
adding a ghillie
it's
suit,
not going to be any different. Yeah.
So that's Jesse Kazam's camo idea that'll never come to the game. That's it for Tarkov. Have you played any more DMZ? I think I saw you playing solo the other day.
I played one more day of solo. Yeah, it was kind of similar to it just made me want to play with you again.
Yeah,
playing with dude, it was like I can't explain how night and day it is. Playing solo is so, like, honestly, it's the difference between playing if you played, let's just say one of the Medal of Honor or Call of Duty games, or Doom or whatever, Quake, on beginner mode versus on like nightmare, hell difficulty, whatever, where it's like impossible, right? That's the difference between playing solo and then playing with like you and Sealable.
Yeah.
It was like I would spawn in and I'd be surrounded by 800 infinitely respawning. There's only so many bullets you have. I was basically playing the gun game. I was dying to the bots just as much as the players.
Yep.
And then when we played, it was Hello Kitty Island adventure, hopping around, memeing,
surviving every raid,
everything, surviving every raid. Because there's 7 bots and each of us kills 2 and then they're all gone.
Yeah.
As opposed to you kill 7, by the time you've killed 3, 5 more have spawned, and then by the time you kill 3, 7 more have spawned, and then by the time, and then all of a sudden a squad of 3 rolls up.
Yeah.
As opposed, like, we were just rolling around like, oh, what do you want to do? I don't know. Whereas solo, I'm like, constantly surrounded, constantly dying, with nothing. It's so crazy how the same game, like PUBG, when I played PUBG back in the day, playing solo versus playing solo in squads, I preferred solo in squads.
Really?
Because at least at the time, it wouldn't be the case now because I'm so out of practice, but at the time I was, let's just say skill-wise 8 out of 10 compared to everybody else on average was like 3 out of 10.
Yeah.
So I would kill 2 squads of 3 or 4 before I would, like lose a fight.
Yeah.
I was more likely to win. So all I needed to do was move intelligently.
Yeah.
And because I was better isolating 1v1s, I would win the 1v1. I would then win the 1v1.
Yeah,
It was the way that Tarkov used to be that now it isn't for whatever million reasons. I mean, that's when I was top 10 in NA was back in the day playing like that.
Yeah.
I had just as many chicken dinners in PUBG when I was playing solo in squad mode than I did playing with squads. It's just so weird that I think it's because of the bots.
It's because of the bots, yeah. So like I played the other night for a few hours and we didn't survive a single raid. So like a few things are happening. I feel like they turned up the bots, their difficulty, which makes me sad because I was praising because they didn't need the difficulty because they had the quantity. And it feels like they have the quantity and the difficulty now, and that makes me really, really sad. And I don't know that there was an update. There wasn't a patch note that said that.
You think between when we played together and when I played solo, you think that between that
at some
period?
some time in between when you and me played and then 2 days ago when I played, something absolutely felt different. I played for 15 hours on launch day, straight. And the AI felt very, very different. I don't even know. It could even be that they didn't up the difficulty, but they upped the ratio because there's tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 enemies.
Maybe there's just more.
Maybe they
tier 2 and tier 3.
maybe they changed the ratio. I don't know, but something absolutely feels like it changed, and that makes me really sad because I think that was one of my favorite features about DMZ. If they want
dude, you're burnt.
Yeah, if they want more tier 2s and tier 3s, in my opinion, they need to release or reduce the quantity of them. But I mean, if you pop a smoke and a helicopter come down and 8 heavies will come off, like the tier 3s, and you're like, as a solo, bro, you just can't do that and then be okay to fight a 3-man. You know what I mean? So that makes me sad. And then additionally, what I also called on day one, there was like relatively very low PvP. And it was like the way Nice Guy described it was like releasing everybody on Shoreline, and it takes a few hours or days or weeks to figure out where the loot is, where the PvP hotspot is, why we go there, and what the timing of the spawns are.
Yeah, not everybody was going school on day one of PUBG.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's what's happening. It's like we played the other night, and it was like 3v3, v3, 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 v3. I mean, it was just non-stop PvP. Non-stop PvP. And that was one of the things where everyone's like, there's not enough PvP in DMZ. There's not enough PvP in DMZ. Bro, if you liked DMZ and you didn't think there was enough PvP, play it again. Because people are...
Do you think maybe they upped the number of players in a map and upped the number of bots? Because maybe people were saying it was too slow and too boring.
They could have upped the number of players. I think I was team, let's wait and see, don't change anything. Because we need the player base to figure that out. Because like people who say there's not enough PvP in DMZ are like high on crack. There's 2 spots on the map that are like just literal PvP zones. There's the weapon case where if you extract it, you get a bunch of XP. By killing the boss and taking the weapon case, you're literally marked for every other person on the map, right? So like that is the every raid PvP catalyst, right? Like if you want PvP, follow the weapons case, like you're going to find it. Then there's the radiation zone where people are trying to get that M13 unlocked. There's probably PvP there. Additionally, all over the map, there's those little green phone contracts. One of those is Hunt Squad. And if you accept it, it literally marks on your map where a squad of people are. And you have 5 minutes to go kill them.
Yeah.
It's PvP. They know that they're marked. They don't know where you're coming from, but they know that you're marked. So it's like we got marked like multiple times every raid that last time I played because people want the PvP. So it's like, if you want PvP, it's there. You can absolutely go for it. So, I mean, maybe I was just having a bad day too and sucking, but like it felt like they upped.
You're washed.
Yeah, I'm straight washed. It felt like the PvP was increasing more so because people are just starting to understand the map, and less maybe they increased the amount of PMCs. I don't know. But then it also felt like the AI kind of went nuts. So I don't know. I hope they continue to tinker with that. But also,
just wait for the next 5 years when everything starts to feel like that. Every month, it starts to feel harder and harder and harder, and everybody's just continuously telling you that it's easier for them.
You, bro. Yeah.
There's less PvP. Seems like everybody's a noob and the bots are easy, dude.
Yeah.
Then you start to like had to sit there looking in the mirror wondering like, what,
maybe I suck.
have I gotten old? Or is everybody a idiot?
So I'm definitely still like very bullish and excited for DMZ. Hold on. I'm about to run out of hard drive space.
Monka?
We got it. I moved a file and just forgot to delete it to free up the space.
Oh, no.
Here we go. I'm very like, because I still think the core gameplay loop is really fun. And I think all of the major issues that I have with the game are either easily addressable or have already been acknowledged and addressed by the devs. And I think like 1 or 2 seasons worth of like updates to the game, balancing of the game, additional content, extra outer raid stuff. And I think, bro, I still think it has a ton of potential. So like, that's why I'm saying like next year could be like cracked. Now this might be a little bit of actual copium, but like next year could be cracked if like we get Streets. Tarkov actually does some really cool stuff. At some point in the year, we get Arena, or at least public testing of the Arena, and DMZ gets some fatty updates. You know what I mean? Like, it could be like an awesome time to be like in this genre of video games. You know what I mean? Or we could be sitting here next year being like, do you think Streets is going to come out?
I'd be like, dude, I don't know. Kerbal Space Program 2, though.
Yeah, true.
Or I'm going to be like, I don't know, just dog shit, just like Rock Band or Rocksmith.
Oh, yeah. Rip.
Garage Hero.
So yeah. So yeah, I've been playing a little bit. But yeah, Chess 2 will be finally coming out.
Yeah. If only.
Yep. So yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the stuff.
Oh my God. How long have we been going for?
An hour and 46 minutes.
Should I had like 3 people being like, yo, you want to give a preview of story time? And I'm wondering if
we should do another story time.
Do you have a story that you want to tell? I mean, because I've got stories, but
not off the top of my head. I should think of some though.
Yeah, okay. So
because last week was the woman with the like nuclear launch codes or whatever, right? Like
the microwave government microwave technology.
Radiation.
Oh shit. Okay. So I'd been dating my wife for a few years. I was coming home from some holiday. It might have been like Christmas Eve or whatever. It was a crazy blizzard. Blizzard.
What are those? I live in Florida. I don't understand.
You. I mean, just like there ended up being like 4 or 5 feet of snow after this storm. So I was driving home. I think this is when I had my BMW. I had a 3 Series all-wheel drive. It was pretty good in the snow, but
nice.
It was like I was going maybe 40 on the highway, which is about half of what I normally do. Because it was just like you could barely see, and this dude is driving in it was like a Nissan Altima or something, just a random ass sedan.
Okay.
And the dude comes like flying by in the fast lane. I'm just like in the middle, like white knuckle, just making sure like I was kind of tired, and I'm just like, I just don't want to die on the way home.
Good
But
plan.
I mean, I've driven a ton in the snow. So like my whole life, it's not a huge deal. The guy comes like kind of flying by and then he like slows down. And I'm like, it was one of those things like if you were driving, you see someone pass you and then you see them slow down. My gut reaction is like, he's about to drive by shoot me. Like he's coming back to say something to me, but he like didn't. And then all of a sudden he like fell back and then kind of came forward and then started to drift slowly into like my lane and then into the right lane and then drift back the other way. And so on the highway, there's like a 3-foot snowbank in the middle, like where the guardrail is. And he just not slowly, he's doing about 60, just goes into the fucking snowbank. I see the back end of his car come up. I'm like, holy this guy just like, and of course, like I'm slowing down, trying not to, with all the cars around and stuff, trying not to die. So, but I'm like, I'm one of those people that I'm like huge on be the person you want to be.
Yeah.
Don't say you're going to do the thing. And then when it happens, don't do the thing. So I'm pulling over. I'm going to see if this person's okay. I'm not just going to keep driving.
Yeah.
Like, it'd be easy to just keep driving. So I pull over. And of course I'm pulling over in the median fast lane, the left lane. I get out of my car and I run up and the guy's like got his head on the steering wheel. And I like knock on the window. I'm like, holy shit, are you okay? And he like looks up and he like waves at me like, yeah, I'm fine. I was like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? And I see all these empty beer cans in his. And I could smell. He just smells like, the dude was hammered. And I was like,
Rip, dude.
and I was like, yo, dog, I'm gonna call like an ambulance, whatever. Like he shouldn't be driving. He's like, no, it's fine. And I'm sitting there like with like leaned in on the window, and it's also like smoked, like not like tinted, but like smoked.
Yeah,
like you could probably like wipe the. It smelled dank and boozy in there. As I'm leaning in, the guy's like, no, dude, it's fine. Putting the car in reverse, and like I'm like, dog, you're not going anywhere. I'm like, I already called 911. They're coming. I told them where we're between exit, whatever and whatever. And he's like, no. He just pulls away and just drives away.
Bro.
And I'm like, oh, I actually, I think I might have had like been on the phone with them already when he was like pulling away. And they're like, well, don't let him leave. I'm like, what am I supposed to do? So they're like, well, follow him. So I get back in my car and I'm following the guy, and he's going 50, 60, 70.
No shot, bro.
Into the median again. The guy goes flying into the snowbank. I pull over, and this time I like pull in front of him, like
block him in. Yeah.
And I block him in. I'm like, bro, you ain't. And then so another guy pulls up in like a big lifted truck, and he's like, I'll help you get out, man. It's no problem. I'm like, dog, no, like, don't help him get out. His car is stuck. And the guy like doesn't get the memo. He doesn't get the picture. I'm like, I'm on the phone with the police. The guy ends up like nudging the car out for the guy. And I'm just like, I don't know what's going on. I can't, like, I'm not going to stop this. I'm not going to, like, what am I going to do? Fight these two guys? Like, come on now. The guy drives away again. So they're like, follow him.
No shot.
And I'm like, he's going 60, 70. I mean, the guy's cruising. And there's like an inch of snow and ice on the road, on the highway. And they're like, follow him. Keep up with him. So I'm in like a high-speed chase following the guy. They're like, tell us if he turns. I'm like, he got off at this exit. They're basically made me a high-speed chase until eventually they pull the guy over. But I had to tail this dude for like 45 minutes.
Insane.
And he crashed twice, dude. His front bumper was hanging off.
The fact that he got out both times and was just like, nah, fam, I'm chill, and just keeps ripping.
Dude, it's amazing because like I'll be in my driveway, and if I don't clear with my snowblower enough, my car is not moving, right? Like if it's a front wheel drive, somehow this asshole got out after hitting a snowbank at 80 miles an hour, managed to get his Nissan out twice, and it was still drivable. Like, you son of a...
That is insane.
And it was like one of those things, like I had to wait after I followed the guy for like 40 minutes, and I had to wait like another 20 minutes while they talked to the guy. Then they had me fill out a police report, and of course I have to like, it was 4 p.m. on a Sunday afternoon, like I have to, it's like a 3-page thing because I need to make sure and they're like, all right, we'll call you. And then I just never heard anything back ever again. It was just like,
what happened to him?
Yeah, wild. Just a wild.
Where do you think that guy is right now? Hopefully alive
in a snowbank.
Yeah, I mean,
in you ever seen Ice Road Truckers?
Yeah.
It's not if you go in the ditch, it's when you go in the ditch.
Yeah, true. Wow. That's insane.
It's a Nissan commercial. Yeah, this whole thing was like, you've been punked. This is you've now won Nissan a brand new
can get
Nissan
out of
Altima.
Anything.
You can get hammered and crash into a snowbank and you'll be fine.
Dude, that's crazy.
Sponsored by Nissan.
Bro, that actually does remind me. We were like road tripping or something, and we were driving, and we were on this like highway, and
on shrooms, or you said road tripping on
yeah, road tripping. Yep. And so
this guy was road tripping.
We were on this highway, and we have to like slam on our brakes because somebody like comes across, because there's like an exit, like a turn, and somebody just drifts across at like 17 miles per hour. So we have to like slam on our brakes, and then he drifts on and we keep going. And one of the guys that was with us was like, I think that dude passed out. Like there was a driver in it, but he was like, I don't think he was conscious. Like, we should stop. So we were like, we got to stop right now. Right. So we like stop. And so it was like a highway, but the person had crossed over and was now on like a much smaller road, just like going by some houses. Drifted off. By the time because we had a trailer attached, so we couldn't whip around on the highway. So we just pulled over immediately and all hopped out and ran back to the exit. And by the time the person had slowed down enough, but they had like kind of cruised across by some houses into like kind of cattywampus into a driveway and then hit a house. Not enough to like fly through because the woman was unconscious. But so now we run up and there's like there's this woman in the car. She's not conscious. We open the door and she had just hit this house and nobody had come out. So we knock on the door and we were like one person's calling 911 and the other person's like, hey, yeah, dude. So one of the odds of this, the door opens and the guy goes, Mom? She had crashed into her own house somehow from like, she lost consciousness, like heading up the ramp, crossed the exit onto this road and just like drifted
straight the whole time, or was she kind of half conscious?
I mean, we don't know, but she drifted by a few houses. Maybe she like subconsciously.
Was it straight, or was there like a stop sign and a right hand turn?
No, it was like, so it was a highway, but then the cross thing was a pretty small road that crosses over this highway. So she kind of like flew past the stop sign into, that's when then crossed over the highway. That's when we slammed on our brakes the other side, and it was kind of a straightaway, but she passed a few other houses and then went into this driveway. So I don't know if she was like in and out of consciousness.
Yeah.
But it was, to us, it was just like this random, like that was like the
you thought you had to give the people the bad news.
When we knock on the door, the absolute last word we think that's gonna come out of this dude's mouth is "Mom." Like we were like, wait, like it was crazy. Now the ambulance came.
Did you just leave?
The ambulance came. They were like, she's okay. We just have to, like, she was alive. She hadn't died or anything. The impact wasn't anything nuts. They got her. The sun went, and we were just like, peace. And we just
you'll never know what happened.
I have no idea.
Dude, the same thing. Literally, almost the same thing happened to me. This is another story time, but it's so short that it's worth just putting in here because it's so appropriate. I was in traffic coming home from work back when I was in the robotics industry, and it was like, anybody who lives in the New England area, if I say Route 3 traffic at 4:30, like it's just sitting there, you're just on the highway doing 5, just it's like a parking lot basically. And the person next to me at one point we're like, we're going, and they're in the fast lane, but nobody's going fast. And the car just kind of drifts off. And I'm like, oh, I'm thinking they just might be pulling over to like do something. And they go clunk into the guardrail and just and I'm like, oh shit. And then eventually they stop. And I'm like, I'm gonna get out and do something. Oh yeah, that reminds me. I gotta put another. I have so many like I gotta get out of my car and do something stories. Yeah, homeless guy seizure. Okay. And so I walk up to the passenger side door, and there's a woman, I would guess maybe somewhere between like 26 and 32. A little bit of a bigger woman, and she's completely out. And so I'm thinking either she had a seizure, maybe a heart attack, but I thought either a seizure or some sort of diabetic, like super low blood sugar, whatever. She was drooling kind of all over herself. Her window was cracked a little bit, and she had music playing or whatever. So I'm like, hello, hey, do you need help? Like, are you diabetic? I'm 911. I'm, like, are you diabetic? Do you need medication? Whatever. And she comes to, and she looks at me, and she's like, like I am Satan. Like I had kidnapped her or was like a rapist, or she just looked at me like, oh my God. I'm like, are you okay? I'm just trying to help. Like I had never felt so like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's crazy. I'm not here to hurt you.
Like, it would be like the equivalent of opening your eyes at night in bed and there's just somebody there. You're like, whoa, what the hell? That's how she reacted.
Yeah.
I think she had no idea what happened.
Yeah.
So she was freaked the out and like closed the window and like, and I just basically waited until the police came and they were like, all right, thanks. And I drove away and I'll never know what.
Dude, that's so crazy.
But the way that she looked at me is the way I never want any human being to ever look at me.
Yeah, for sure. It's like, it's understandable because it's so startling and you have no idea how long they lost, but you're like, no, I am not here. I'm not that. Like, whatever you're
What do
thinking.
I say? Like, whatever it is you're thinking, I'm not that.
Yeah,
Like, I'm not the succubus trying to, like I was the girl from The Ring that just crawled out of the
into her car.
Oh my God. But yeah, it was wild.
Oh,
that's so crazy. They were like, she passed out. And I'm like, okay, wait a minute.
Wait a minute. Dude, life is crazy.
I'm glad I remembered the homeless drunk guy.
I'm excited to hear that
I
one.
mean, not drunk.
Homeless seizure guy.
This is kind of a crazy
On
one.
next week's episode of the podcast. If you made it this far, comment story time in the YouTube video.
Yeah, I gotta get one of those nice little sweaters and sit down and change my shoes.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm referencing?
Mr. Oh, what's his name? Mr.
I almost wanted to say Mr. Hey Arnold, because I also can't.
Hey Arnold?
Mr.
Robbins?
Roberts?
Mr. Robbins?
Mr. Roberts?
No.
Wait, what the f is his name? I can't remember. Mr. Tony Robbins. No, Mr. Rogers.
Rogers. God.
What did you say? Roberts?
Robbins?
And I said Robbins?
Dude, how did we forget Mr. Rogers? You were like, do you know what that's from? And then you were like, wait.
Yeah, and I was like, wait, what is it?
What is it from?
Won't you be my neighbor? Now I want to watch Bob Ross. I don't know why that made me think of. I don't want to watch Mr. Rogers.
Yeah, I don't want to watch Mr. Rogers. I want to watch Bob Ross.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch that. I'm gonna play chess. I'm gonna watch Bob Ross.
That feels like a good chess vibe,
dude. That's like how when I first got into Twitch. Really, was when Bob Ross was like 50,000 viewer trending on Twitch when he had like a channel.
Yeah.
Was that like 8 years ago or something?
It was
like
a
that?
while ago. Yeah.
That was when I really first started to like. That was when I began to understand what Twitch chat is.
The collective viewing experience.
It's basically like the wave at a baseball game in text form.
Yeah.
The fact that every time he would do something and it would look scuffed, everybody would be like, ruined. And then he would turn it into some amazing thing. And then it would be like, saved. And it was just like all the emotes. And then what he'd say, beat the devil out of it. Everybody would spam like, be gone, devil. Like, praise Jesus. Like, it was just all of the memes and the repetition. And you were just like a part of this, like, almost like a call and response kind of thing where it's like, he did the thing, you got to do the thing. You know what I mean? It's so much more enjoyable than like, that was the epitome of peak Twitch. Was that it'll never be as good as that.
Because it was so wholesome.
Yeah, it wasn't like, you get the same kind of thing, but usually it's like XQC or Asmongold or whatever, and it's like half of it's people spamming like racist memes or whatever. But that was just purely people enjoying themselves with a wholesome. There's just a nice dude with a squirrel in his pocket. You remember that?
No.
You had no reaction. He had a little pet squirrel that would sit in his pocket.
Really?
How much more wholesome? Yeah, it was adorable.
That's incredible.
Unless I fever dreamed that. I'm fairly certain that was true. And also he was like used to be like in the Marines or whatever. Like he was.
I heard that. I didn't know if that was like a rumor or if that was real life.
So yeah, he just like turned into a squirrel loving pacifist.
For the 50,000 viewers on Twitch.
Yeah, after he's dead.
Yeah.
Poor thing.
Yeah.
I'm sure someone probably made bank off of that, and it wasn't his estate.
Probably. Well,
Peapod. His name was Peapod.
Peapod the squirrel.
Peapod the pocket squirrel. Okay, I'm not crazy.
Peapod the pocket squirrel.
Oh, I'm 100% watching this, dude. It's on his head. Oh, God. Yep.
Peapod the pocket squirrel. Wow. That's incredible.
I tried. I did the Bob Ross. I bought like the kit and tried it once.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, if you've ever seen like any expectation versus reality meme, it is precisely that. Yeah, I didn't have anything anywhere to smack off the paint thinner.
Yeah.
I did it in my dining room. So everything was just kind of like smudged together.
Incredible.
It's somewhere on my Twitter. If you go to my Twitter, go to media, and then scroll down like 357 years, there's a side-by-side of the
Bob Ross.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll see.
You'll see. That's actually amazing. Well, solid episode. We had some news. We had some solid story times.
We had some nudes.
We had some nudes. We had some. There's foreskins on the guns.
Circumcision
on the Escape from Tarkov. But yeah, bro, it's weird that it's Sunday. So I'll have to like mass edit this and then get it out tomorrow. But yeah, yo, we'll see, man. Tomorrow, it's the downtime is I think like 2 to something, 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. Eastern time. We'll see. Not expecting anything crazy, but maybe pre-wipe starts. Maybe Nikita is listening to the podcast and he's implementing my camo idea tomorrow. Copium.
Yeah, maybe they'll fix the game tomorrow.
Wow.
Maybe they'll ban the cheaters.
All of them tomorrow.
You think they'll ban the cheaters tomorrow?
Wow, 4 hours it'll take them to ban them all. But yeah, so I do think we are getting into that season though, where Tarkov's gonna have a lot going on. So we'll see. But thanks for hanging. Story time in the comments if you made it this far, and we'll definitely see y'all on the next one.
Peace.